Welcome to the channel behind closed doors stories. Stories you won't hear anywhere else. Let's begin.
Chicago, 1997. Lisa stood by the window of a coffee shop at the intersection of Randolph Street and Michigan Avenue, watching the flow of people. She clutched a cup of latte in her hands, though it had long gone cold. Her thoughts kept returning to the night before, to the message she had found on her answering machine from Mark. "Liz, I need to see you. I made a mistake." A mistake. He called it a mistake. It had been 4 months since the night her world collapsed. She had come home early to make dinner and found him in their bedroom, with another woman. Everything happened quickly. Her trembling hands, his excuses, the suitcase by the door, the deafening silence when she shut the door behind him. That was the moment she decided, no contact. Ever. But now Mark wanted to talk. Why? Wounds that won't heal. Lisa took a deep breath. She knew there was no point in going back. It had taken her weeks to stop looking for him in crowds, to stop flinching when she heard his name. She had learned to fall asleep alone again. She had replaced their favorite spots in the city with new ones. No contact had given her strength. She no longer checked her phone, no longer searched for his reflection in the eyes of strangers. She had started living, but now he was here again, his voice in her head, his shadow on her heart. "I've changed, Liz. I was a fool. Give me a chance." Why? She knew exactly how it would go. First, the words, the promises, the flowers. Then the doubts, the lies, the empty reassurances. It was a cycle she had broken. Nothing would pull her back. She remembered the nights she had spent lying in bed, her face buried in her pillow, replaying moments of their love. The first time he told her he loved her on Montrose Beach, the way they laughed at silly movies in their tiny apartment, the way he promised he would never hurt her. Lies. Love that no longer exists. She recalled what her friend Maggie had once told her. Real love doesn't make you suffer. Mark didn't love her, he loved owning her. They had met in October, the year Lisa first moved to Chicago. Back then, she was naive, full of hope, believing that love could conquer everything. Mark was her first great love, but now, years later, she realized the truth. He had simply taken advantage of her trust. He had loved the control, the power over her emotions, the way she depended on him. But wasn't there still a small glimmer of hope inside her? Didn't her heart cling to the past? Could she really erase years of memories, emotions, love? She knew she could, and she knew she must. Lisa picked up her phone. Her finger hovered over the answer button. Her heart pounded in her chest, demanding a response. But her mind was calm. She pressed delete. The last chance to walk away that evening, Lisa didn't go home. She got into a cab and gave a different address, Maggie's apartment. When her friend opened the door, Lisa simply walked in and sat down on the couch. She stared at her hands while Maggie silently poured tea. "He called again?" Maggie finally asked. Lisa nodded. Her lips trembled, but she wouldn't allow herself to cry. "Did you answer?" "No. I deleted it." Maggie sat beside her and took her hand. "I'm proud of you," she said softly. Lisa smiled. For the first time in a long time, she felt like she was doing something right. A freedom she didn't expect. She stepped out of the coffee shop and inhaled the crisp evening air. In that moment, she realized he was no longer a part of her life. She had stopped waiting. She had let go. The city bustled around her, but for the first time in a long time, she felt quiet inside. Her heart no longer reached for the man who had never truly valued her. She crossed the street, hailed a cab, and gave an address. "Where to?" the driver asked. Lisa smiled. "Anywhere. Forward. Somewhere a new life awaited her. No contact. No second chances. No going back. 1 year later, Lisa adjusted the strap of her purse as she walked down Michigan Avenue. A year had passed since that night, since Mark's last call, since she made the choice to move forward. She had changed. She had taken up photography, something she had abandoned during their relationship because Mark always found it silly. She had traveled, making spontaneous weekend trips to new cities. She had learned to love being alone. One evening, while browsing an art gallery in New York, she met someone, David. He was different, kind, patient. He didn't demand her attention, didn't push her to be someone she wasn't. Their relationship was easy, built on mutual respect rather than obligation. And now, back in Chicago for a short visit, Lisa felt a strange nostalgia. The city that had once been filled with painful memories now felt different. It was hers again. The final closure as she passed the old coffee shop, she hesitated. And then she saw him, Mark, sitting at a table near the window, alone, staring into his cup. For a moment, their eyes met. He gave a slight nod, almost an invitation. But Lisa just smiled, a polite, distant smile, and walked away. She didn't need words. She didn't need closure. She had already closed that chapter of her life long ago. And this time, she didn't even look back.